Hello everybody, it's me once again, funkdoc, and this time we have a treat for you. A really rare treat, a type of game that you almost never see in BSW, a 6-player game on the France map. 6 players, we use 5 of the regions of the map, and in this case, red is the region taken out, so this is the cheapest possible France map for 5 and 6 players. Red is the most expensive region on the map, easily. So, let's get something out of the way here. A lot of the veterans of this game do not like playing 6-player on France, and there's a specific reason for that. The player who starts at the bottom of the turn order, which is determined randomly, like the order of the players in the first auction is randomized. So whoever gets the last spot in the auction in the first turn is guaranteed to get the 11 as their starting plant with this nice cheap uranium here. So people tend to see that as overpowered and not want to play 6-player on France just because of that. I personally think that's way overblown though. Jbode and I have both talked about this, and both of us, in the France 6-player games we've seen, the player who starts with the 11 has almost never won. And there's a legitimate reason for that. I mean, 11, when you're down to the last plant left, 11 is great compared to the alternatives, yes. But it also hurts you in turn order, and you miss out on the really good plants that often tend to come on turn 2. With 6 players, with so many people buying plants, the market moves more quickly. You tend to get more. You're more likely to see stuff like 21, 25, 26 become available on turn 2. Anyway, I'm not going to pay 7 for the 3 plant. I'm okay with this. I'll just go for the 5 here. I'll go for the 5, and I'll try to look for a 1 build here. That's my plan. And I'm not expecting anybody to bid me on this. Yeah, I'd easily rather have the 5 than the 8 because of what I discussed earlier with the 11. That if you get that plant that powers 2 cities, you often tend to miss out on really good plants turn 2. Now the 4 and the 3 both went, ooh, I did get a bid on this. I mean, now I'll pass, sure. I'll take the 9 now. Again, I want to stick to those plants that power 1 city. That way I will only need to build 1. I'll be lower in the turn order. And 3, 4, the 4 and 5 are in the game. 10 will get coal pretty cheap, but I'm not as worried about that. Because again, these early plants become a lot less important in 6-player in particular, because a lot of people are going to buy something on turn 2. And I would like to be one of those people. Mastaba goes for the obvious choice in the 10, and Kablammo gets that 11. Just giving some friendly advice to Dion. I shouldn't even explain who the players are in this game. So we have me, Mastaba, dionis4ever, who's one of the enthusiastic newcomers that has gotten into this game because of these YouTube videos, apparently. He has thanked me greatly for that. So thank you, Dion. This is exactly what I was hoping to do with this project. Try to get some new blood into the game. And then we have Tinchen87, who I've never played with before. Seem to be, let me see here. Let me look at this. Okay, so yeah, very new to the game. Very new and hasn't won a single game yet, but has only played like 7 games, so that's pretty normal. Takes a while before you win a game in this one. And then we have Kepappi and Kablammo, who are both solid veterans and often tend to end up playing games together. Like, what I would say is being able to get 11 at cost, I think that's probably better than any of the other plants at cost besides 3 or 4. I'm actually not even sure about that. Honestly, the more I think about it, I wonder if Dion might have been right to bid for the 5. Not if you build 2 cities, though. To make the 5 worth bidding any extra for, you have to just find a good spot to build 1 city and hope it works out well. Kepappi goes for the obvious triple Paris build. 16 will be a very nice fit for that. And then with 17 after, this will be tricky. Personally, again, in these larger games like 5 and 6 player, I'm not nearly as high on triple Paris. Although now with 16 and 17 coming into the game, it's a lot more defensible. Interesting build by Tinchen here. I don't know about this one. I don't think anyone else is really going to target this city with you building here. So I would have built Amiens instead. That locks up more connections for you. Blocks the Paris player more. If you were going to build 2, I think that's clearly the build here. So I can actually get second from bottom in the turn order now. Dion goes for that. Interesting. So we get some really good builds here. I think personally, I'm just going to take Nimes or Aix-en-Provence. I think I take this. Yeah. I'm just going to build in the middle of Aqua. Take my. This is a really cheap region. Like, probably, like, after Paris and its immediately surrounding area, this is the cheapest part of the map. Leaves open the question of where do others build. I think one player should build Lyon and a neighbor. Dijon. Mastaba should be able to get Dijon, right? He has to. Dijon? Yeah, there we go. He should have right around. He should have just about exactly enough money for Lyon and Dijon, and I think that's clearly the best build left on the board here. Mastaba, as expected, does the right thing. So Mastaba and Kablammo will have an early money advantage compared to the rest of us, but they might potentially miss out on big plans. See, I'm gunning for a low spot in the turn order here because after 16, like, will people even buy other stuff? I'm hoping someone above me buys 8. I mean, Kepappi's going to go first in the auction. We'll have to buy 16. We'll see if anyone bids for it. Ooh. That is an interesting one from Kablammo there. Taking a slightly more expensive connection from here up into here. Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, just making sure I got all the plants in the tracker. I think we do. But you notice now this is why I opted for the 9 instead of the 8. Because now I'm going to be second from bottom in the turn order. And that's pretty valuable on turn 2. I'm not going to bid now. I'm not going to bid for 16 here because I won't quite like if I bid for 16, I won't be able to. Well, no, actually, I can. Hold on. Let me think about this. I can bid a little bit on 16, and I should be able to build to power 3 cities with these 3. Tinchen should bid too, I think. Like, there's reason. Like, the problem is with 17 sitting there behind it. There's reason to bid on this plant. And what's also nice is that in 6-player, with only needing 14 cities to end the game, 16 can more easily be an endgame plant compared to any other game size except for 2-player. Like, 2-player and 6-player are the formats where it's easiest to keep a 3-capacity plant the entire game. 6-player is because of the lower number of cities needed to end, and in 2-player's case, it's because you have 4 plants compared to 3 in other games. Hence, you need a lower average capacity among all your plants. So 3-capacity plants gain a lot more value. My low turn order position means it helps me to get cheaper oil. Okay. Now with kepappi out of the auction, now I will pass this because kepappi will be forced to buy a plant, and that can get big stuff on the market. Kepappi, I think, might end up buying the 8. Oh, no, 17. 17 makes sense. Because there's still not that much competition for uranium at this point, and uranium comes back into the game at 2 per turn already, even in step 1. Like, if you'll notice, like, 6-player restock rates are just fucking just off the hook here. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm obviously not bidding on this crap. Even in France, 17 is just no bueno. It's a desperation plant, and you buy in an early market stall. Or like turn 2. I mean, 17 is okay for turn 2. Wow. Kablammo comes out with a bid of 33 for the 20. No, yeah, $33 for the 27. Yeah, no. Like, yeah, it can easily be an endgame plant in 6-player, but I can only build a set 2 cities if I get it at this price. Now here we go. This is a plan I'm going to bid for. See what I mean about getting all these crazy plants on turn 2. And why I wanted to go low in the turn order to start with. This is exactly why I went for the 9, because of getting a chance to bid for this. Let me think about this. Still a lot of potential duds that can come. We've already worked through a lot of the plants that are, 30 and higher. Or higher, I should say higher than 26. We've already worked through a lot of those plants. So yeah. $29 is amazing when it shows up in turn 2. Easily worth bidding for. The fact that it's Dion bidding for me, who's the 1 player below me in the turn order, that does make me inclined to give it up a little earlier. Like here. I think now, because in my situation now, if I let this go to Dion, worst case scenario, if I don't get a good drop here, at worst case scenario, I can safely buy the 8 and just store likely store extra cheap coal, or actually build to 3 cities if I wanted to. Whoa, lad. Ooh, boy. Oh man, Big Chungus for this point in the game. Do I want Big Chungus? That's the question. Or is it too early? I think I might take this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, just run the 9 this turn, stay at 1 city, and I should be able to get to 3 cities in the following turn. And what do you know, the 12 came in right after, so the market would have stalled if I didn't buy it there. Well, I mean, I wasn't gonna pass on plants completely. I was either gonna buy the 32 or the 8. The 8 gives me more short-term money making, but I think 32 is gonna be a much bigger deal. With all the big plants that have come here, let me look at this. There's gonna be a lot of oil bought. 5 oil comes back into the game per turn. Let me think about this. Okay. So I'm going to make 22 bucks. I'm going to burn 1 oil, make 22 bucks in this turn. These are the cities I like to get on the next turn. Let me think about this. 9 bucks. So I have 9 bucks here. So if I buy 3 extra oil, that'll leave me with $9. $9 plus 22 is 31. Oh man, this is kind of rough here. It's actually kind of rough to figure out. I think I do still just take all the $3 oil, though. I just don't see any alternative because there's 2 other players above me that are going to buy oil already, so I think it's most worth it for me to just take the all the $3 oil, because there's no way I'm going to be getting oil's going to be down to 2 for me next turn, even when I stay at 1 city here. So this is a bit of a risk here. Now, a player like Kablammo in particular is set up to make a lot of money during step 1. Even Dion. Really. What I would have done if I were Dion was bid 29 to the point, up until the point where I can't build Orleans anymore. Actually, I guess Orleans isn't your worry. You can afford to just take Le Mans. Bid it up to the level where you can afford Le Mans build. Dion can't afford a second city. Something had to go wrong there. This is going to be a little tricky for me. I think next turn I'll be able to build to 3 cities, but only with these 3. And then I'd have to worry about Mastaba potentially blocking me down here. Would be my concern. Alright. Tinchen couldn't build a 3rd city, huh? $28. That's a fine plant to see. It's a big money-making plant, but it takes away... It blocks more of the bigger plants from coming onto the market. Some of them, anyway. We might have nobody buying a plant this turn because, well, there's not even really a good plant for Mastaba to take here that helps him much. Arguably 12. Mastaba might take the 12 here because he knows that Dion and I cannot buy a plant this turn. We both paid a lot of money for plants in the previous turn. We have to do nothing but build now. So I think Mastaba can safely buy a plant here if he wants to, but he might just want to play the turn order game now instead because coal's really cheap. So 10's making him a lot of money. Tinchen buys the 12. Sure, I guess. Not what I wanted to see. I was hoping the market would move more slowly, give me more time to catch up in money, make use of my 32. And there's 28's a pretty great plant for Mastaba now. He's gonna buy this. He's going to buy this, and then there's nothing we can do to stop it. Even if 33 drops after this, we still can't buy it. Or 20. Like, I can't buy this. At least 20 is very likely to stay on next turn and will be a good plant. Now, for me, I don't know how good 20 will be. Like, I really, really don't like having 2 endgame plants that burn 3 fossil fuels each. Not a fan of that, normally. I'm kind of annoyed about Tinchen here because I actually could have bought 28 if it came on the following turn. That would have been a really good plant for me, actually, 28. Because then that would let me take pressure off of oil during step 1. I could just stick to running 28. And Dion does the right thing, not buying the 20 either. Yeah. And as expected, I get my $3 oil. So I will need to store 1 extra oil, I think. Because that's what I can afford here. $1 coal, and I can't buy it. I'm really surprised Dion's not buying at least buying the $1 coal there. The danger with this is that I risk losing Neems. Like I risk Mastaba potentially building down there, would be my concern. But I absolutely have to. I have to build the most I can now. I have to do that to catch up on money. Took a bit of a risk buying 32 as early as I did. Not sure if it'll pay off. I imagine, one way or another, Kepappi should stop burning oil after this turn, though. Kablammo should absolutely build Reims as their next city, for sure. Because that gets them, next to Paris, and also threatens all this stuff for the Paris player. Interesting that Mastaba chooses to build here. I would have thought he'd go for Saint Etienne in order to set up the crossover to Nimes. Guess it's just not quite on his mind yet, unless he really wants to build a 5 on the next turn. Which he could do depending on how much 20 goes for. Yep. And there's Reims as expected from Kablammo. Like I said, Kablammo and Kepappi both are solid veterans of the game. You can generally expect them to make the right builds. Tinchen. This is interesting that Tinchen didn't buy oil but built a 3. The oil still makes more money. I mean, not that I'm complaining. Anyway, fire my stuff. I need this base of money right now. Like, I mean, not building memes is a big risk for me. And there's 19. Well, okay, okay. I'm happy again. Mastaba, I think, is really set up well to be the richest player, so this is going to be another game of early capacity versus money. Me on the capacity side, Mastaba, I think, is the leader on the money side. The nice thing is, since Mastaba's not getting a plant this turn, well, no, he does have, 28, so... He's... shit, he's probably going to end up building into Neems, isn't he? Boo. In this situation... Kepappi might consider 19. Trash is starting to get cheap now. And oil is, it's the most expensive. It's becoming the most expensive resource in this game at this point. But Kepappi passes. Okay, like I said, solid veteran doing a solid veteran play. Just sticking with what he's got, since... He can power 3 cities at a decent price. He can hang in there one more turn, and he'll drop to the bottom of the turn order. For next turn, when there should be a lot more good plants coming on. Well, about that. About that. Again, this makes me happy. I forgot to mark off 11 too. Dang. I mean, we're not really set up for a big, long market stall in the future, but that's okay. This has already kind of been our market stall. I mean, it's taking this long for 20 to make it onto the market. That really benefits me. All right. Tinchen's getting a pretty good amount of land here, I gotta say. The fact that they ended up getting Amiens anyway, even after that slightly odd starting build, it's a big win for them. Kepappi, I think, just needs to stay put. Actually, what Kepappi could do here... Kepappi could build Orleans and likely still stay bottom in the turn order. Yep. Again, solid play. Yeah, Orleans is really valuable come... it'll be really good come step 2. Gets you into this nice cheap section here. Okay, build to 5, I don't understand. That's a bit odd. I'd be fine stopping at 4. Neems. Mastaba's going to build Neems, I have a suspicion. That's the best thing yep, that's the best thing he can do to attack me right now. This isn't the worst thing because I should still be able to get to 6 on the next turn. Mastaba has 5 cities, right? 5. So what I could do is just build Nice this turn. Yeah. I think I do this. I think I just build Nice. I'll stable a Mastaba that way, and then jump into Montpellier and Perpignan on the next turn. Hopefully, with people buying more plants next turn, we can get out of the oil. They will get out of the oil business here. All right. Actually, what I'd like, the build I would like to make if possible is Montpellier and Clermont. Because that's really valuable to break out of this corner for step 2. Put in a token bid on this. I suspect this is going to go a lot higher, though, because coal is cheap right now. Mastaba being at the top of the turn order, I think, is plenty of reason to bid for this. He even has some, coal stored. It's a really good plant for him. Really good plant for him. Yeah. So 20 is going at quite a high price, as I expected. That 23 being next on the market is adding a lot to its value right now. I'm not sure if I expected it to go for over 40 though, but it's still going. and it's all the veterans left in this auction here. Which should tell you something. I'm gonna think about something. Think about this. Oh yeah, I should easily be able to afford that. I'd much rather build Claremont than Perpignan. It looks horribly expensive, but actually, it's only $6 more than the cheapest connection for me to break out of Aqua. Now I think 20 is just getting ridiculous. Again, this is making me happier and happier with my 32. That I got it for free when I had the chance. Are we really going to see 50 for the 20? Okay, just short. And there's another dud. So again, plays to my favor that the market is not going to move as much now. Well, Kepappi will buy it though. Kepappi's going to buy 15 because he actually needs a plant right now. This fits him well. He can just use like 15 and 17 together to power his 5 cities and stop burning expensive oil. At least that's what I'm hoping Kepappi does. One thing I'll say here, I'm obviously going to pass on this, of course. One thing I will say, though, if 21 shows up, I will bid on it. Like, I'll actually bid on it and just stay at 4 cities. Because that would be my second endgame plant, and it would let me use some cheaper coal, take the pressure off oil. At least, if anything, even just for one turn, that helps. Like, in this situation with what I need, because I need to build 6 cities to trigger step 2, losing Nimes is not really that bad because it's only an extra $3 jump into Montpellier. The only thing it did was on the previous turn, it cost me, it didn't let me get up to 5 cities. Because then I could have done like Nimes and Montpellier to easily reach 5. Instead, I had to stop at 4. Interesting that Dion did not build to 4, when I have to imagine he easily could have. With the 29, you tend to want to, build to 4 and stay there. Make the most money possible from that plant, especially with how much money he paid for 29. But it also could be reasonable to play the turn order game. Just stay patient at 3. Ooh, there's 31. We'll have to see if Tinchen buys a plant here. Tinchen could just stick with 16 and 12. Because they do have a clear and obvious 5th city to build in Calais. I'm not going to give any information about my money. I was going to type in there that Mastaba's build last turn stopped me from building to 5, forced me to settle for 4, but I'm not going to give any info about how much money I have. What I arguably should have done, now that I think about it, is jump to Montpellier on the previous turn, and then see if I can maybe go for Clermont and Limoges. Although Dion might build Limoges. And Tinchen does the right thing there and passes, leaving Dion with some choices. And I think Dion's correct to pass. Dion does not need to buy any of these plants. He can just build a 4th city and stall there with 29 and make a bunch of money off that $2 coal there. He might even be tempted to build to 5 because coal's so cheap that he can profitably run the 5 as well. And it looks like that's what he's going to do. He's just max buying coal. That suggests a build to 5, so I'm thinking he goes for Rennes and Limoges. I think that's going to be his build. Let me check this one more time. Montpellier, Clermont. 19. And oil's going to be a lot cheaper for me than 19 this turn. Might even be able to store like 1 extra or something. And yes, jacking up coal was a good move with Kablammo getting 20 over there. Actually, what Kablammo can do now is not even burn coal at this stage, just stick with the 11 and 27 combo and just power 5 cities insanely cheap. Okay, 19. Do I store 1 extra oil? I think I do. I think I do it this way. Just make sure one more time. And I have exactly enough money for that. What's interesting is I wonder if this situation with Mastaba building Nimes might have worked out for me better than if I got Nimes and Montpellier, because then Mastaba, I think clearly, like Mastaba obviously builds Clermont. If I get these in the previous turn, and that might be worse for me in the long run. I'm not sure. There's Rennes, and I'm guessing Limoges. Yep, called it. Yep, there we go. Tinchen's going to build Calais in order to make use of the 16 and the 12 together, power the 5 cities with those 2 plants. That's what I'm expecting now. Yep. I have a couple options here. I could actually stall and just stay bottom in the turn order. I could do that. But I do feel pressure to keep up on money, though. And these are not good plants we're going to be looking at next turn. So, I don't know. Like, on the one hand, I don't want to be the player to move the market necessarily. On the other hand, I need to make money. And if I don't, someone else is going to build a 6. And that's going to be Mastaba. Mastaba's going to build into my shit even more if I don't build here, so I think I have to do this. Yep. I don't know why Kablammo bought coal. I guess just for safekeeping. Which would make some sense. Mastaba builds the 6 as expected to get full value from 10 and 28 together. And there's 22, which is good news for me, I gotta say. I wanted a dud to come there because again, I don't want to move the market and get all these like crazy good plants on. What I'm going to do here is pass on plants. Actually. And 18 even. Holy shit. Wow. This market stall. I'm going to pass now. Thank you very much. Even 19. 19 actually looks really good right now. Trash down to $1. I could have bought 19, but yeah. I'm in an awkward spot where I'm not in a good position to build and make use of 32 plus one of these other plants this turn. I'd have to wait one more turn for that. So I'd rather just pass and make sure the market moves as slowly as possible. Mastaba going for 18 though, a most reasonable play. In his spot, he's leaning into his lower capacity rich strategy. Which is probably the right move for him. Uh-oh. That is some pretty bad news for me. Dion's going to buy something. Dion might buy 19. That's probably what I would do in his spot. Very rare to say that I would recommend buying 19, but here we are. Dion passes. Interesting. Kablammo's obviously going to pass after paying almost $50 for the 20. Kablammo's got nothing to do now but build, build, build. And kepappi does not want to risk dropping 26. If kepappi passes too, oh my god, kepappi's not going to pass. Well, Tinchen just hits the jackpot there. Oh my god, Tinchen actually bids on this. Well, now kepappi is going to get a gift. There we go. There's the gift. And now nobody buys 19, but 30 is probably going to be on the market next turn. Well, that's a darn good position for kepappi then. Holy crap. Yeah, kablammo is dead after paying that much for the 20, I'd say. These are the things that you get with these less experienced players. Do things like bid on 23 with the 26 on deck. I had a game last night that got, or like I shown in that previous game there, that has been uploaded before. You saw that exact scenario happen with another newer player and P-Stein-X getting the drop and just cruising to an easy win from there. That sucks for me, though. I really didn't want 26 to show up to be bought on this turn. That hurts me now. We're actually through almost all of the duds now, though. Almost all the duds, so that helps. Plus 8 might get built off the market on this turn. In fact, I'm positive it will. I'm willing to bet Mastaba builds to 8 at the very least. Okay, at least Kepappi didn't buy any extra oil. That makes me happy. And hopefully Dion doesn't buy oil now. Yep. Oh god, Dion's actually buying oil too. That sucks. I just have to hope people start building above me now. I mean, Dion's not going to, but hopefully Tinchen, Kepappi, hopefully those people build above me at least. Yep, there's a build 8. Ooh, 24. All right. So, I had my early market stall, but now the market's going to be moving. There's only one real dud left in the game, and even that's not going to be enough to stop the action because of 24 and 30 both being on. If 14 were to come, push 30 off the market, 24 will still... It's a no-brainer for someone to buy. So, we are going to get through a lot of plants in the next turn. Like, we could even potentially get to the step 3 card on the next turn, believe it or not. Mastaba saying, I think if it stalls, capacity will matter, comparing the 19 to the 28. Spoilers, the game is not going to stall. Like, everybody's going to buy a plant on the next turn. I'll bet you. So now I have to think about where to build. I'm thinking Dion doesn't build. Yeah. My builds are, yeah, they're kind of getting hosed already. Not the worst thing, though, because like I said, I don't think Step 2 is going to last very long. Where does Mastaba build? I'm going to guess Mastaba builds north. Can go Beston Khan and Mulhouse. Because in this situation, like, Mastaba, he's under pressure to build because he has to burn those resources. He really wants to get rid of that coal on the 10, since a plant will be bought next turn. Okay, no, he builds into my stuff. Okay. I'm not going to complain about that. Not going to complain. Oh, he does take Perpignan before me, though. It's a little annoying. Mastaba's just accepted he's going to go to top in the turn order. Wow, built a 10 already. Okay. So I'm going to be second from bottom now, which is pretty cool. The problem is the way this game's shaking out now, it's not going to be the greatest for me. $21. Okay. You know what I have to say? Since the game's not going to stall, I'm kind of tempted to bet on this. In fact, I think that's what I might do. I think that might just be the thing I want to do. Or do I want to bid for this? Probably not. Like, I'm guaranteed to get some kind of bigger capacity plant cost, I think. I mean, this still has to be bid up just because trash is so cheap. What I'd like to get is 33. That's actually the plant I'm eyeing personally. I'll pass now, though. Because I won't mind getting, you know, even a 4 or a 5 here. So I'd be okay with, like, 25 dropping to me or something. I gotta say, by the way, I was worried that kepappi getting 26 drop at cost would instantly shoot them back into the game. But the fact that they were only able to build to 7 cities with the 26 and the 15 wanting to use both those plants, that's a really good sign for me. $61, that might arguably be overpaying considering how this market's going to look. We're going to get really close to step 3 here. 31, this should still attract a lot of bidding. I'll drop out of this one soon. Yeah. With Dion staying in the auction and Dion being below me in the turn order. Like, Dion needs capacity a little more than I do, so he needs to fight for this plan a little harder. I don't need a second 6 at this point. Because, again, I think we're going to get to the step 3 auction. 14... There's the dud there. It was going to come at some point, just a matter of when. Now, Kablammo, I think, needs to buy 21. So now we're guaranteed to get some kind of better plant. And sure enough, that 33 for me. So now this is a 50-50. When I buy this, Dion will get either the 25 or the 35. Either the 25 or the 34 at cost. I guess they're both pretty comparable. But I still have to buy this. But yeah, this means we're going to get to the step 3 auction next turn, which is great news. And we shouldn't have the step 3 card yet. So... Yep, Dion did the right thing. And there's the 34. That's what you needed. $25, of course, showing up last. So this is beautiful because now we don't have the step 3 build yet. So now I have a decision to make. I can either not build this turn, now I have to decide something. All right. Can I get to 4 cities? Because I have... 1, 2, 3. What do you think about this? 1, 2, 3. So I'm only going to end up... I think I still have to do it, though. Yeah? I think I still have to do this. Okay, I need to think. I mean, realistically, I'm not going to win this game. I think that's the build I would want to make, though. I'd like to block mastaba as much as I can in terms of builds. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just doing this. I'm not going to get to 10 cities, but I think it's still worth it at 9. Problem is, this means I ain't going to have the money to end the game next turn. So that's a problem. I still want to buy a plant, though. Like, I would definitely want to buy a plant for sure on the next turn anyway. Because I can just run that plus the 33 instead of 32. For a turn. That would help me a lot. But yeah. This game, we just didn't... The market stalled fairly well early on for me. But it was all the bad plants being stacked together. And then after we broke through that, it was just plant after plant after plant after plant. So that's not what I needed to win this. So I guess in retrospect, the 8 was the better buy for me than 32. Lesson learned going forward. Like in 5-player games, since the market moves more slowly and is more likely to stall, the 32 I still think might have been the right buy in that situation for a 5-player game. But in 6-player, the market moves faster, and so yeah, I probably should have just bought the 8. But yeah, I definitely think my build now is here in order to try and block mastaba. Tinchen keeps having connection issues here. We're explaining the bug right now with how you close the power plant market, which I don't think I've ever talked about on here. So BSW, one of the other great wonders of the BSW client, among many, is the fact that there's a programming error in the power plant market. You're supposed to be able to click this red button to close it, but that doesn't work. You might even be able to hear my clicks on the mic here. Not doing anything. What you have to do instead is click like just to the right of the upper rightmost plant. And that closes it. So that's pretty stupid. So I get an extra step 1 city out of this at least. And that's a nice access point for me on the next turn. But yeah, I mean, realistically, I'm just not gonna... Yeah, there's no way I win this game now. Even though Mastaba had to pay a lot for 30, it's still gonna pay off, I think. I still feel like Mastaba has to be the favorite to win this. What's funny is I'm actually going to be more around the middle of the turn order, which I didn't expect. I'm guaranteed to be below Mastaba and Dion, which is nice. Kablammo might build above me, too. Nope. I think that's the correct move. Actually, no, he did. Never mind. Kablammo did build above me. Oh. Meanwhile, Mastaba cannot get to 12, so that's kind of encouraging for me. Still means he's probably going to be able to end the game on the next turn, though. Because it only takes 14 cities to end the game. Though he is running out of places to build, so there's that. And the nice thing is now we're going to get the step 3 card next, so that's going to increase the oil restock rate. That'll help me some. Because there's no way I end the game on the next turn. I think my play would be to try to look for an efficient 6 capacity plant. Kablammo building above me is actually a big deal, too, because it means that I can get these cities on the next turn. Like Nimes and Perpignan, I should be able to get these like in the step 2 spots, which are rather cheap for this point in the game. Because I'm not expecting to get these in step 2 form. Because I'm thinking Kepappi will probably build these before me next turn. Meanwhile, Tinchen's continuing to have the connection issues. All right. So There we go. There we go. Tinchen's back. Yay. So yeah, I'm in the lower half in terms of turn order, which I'm quite happy with. With 32 as my plant since turn 2 of the game. Mastaba passes. That's encouraging to me. Okay. Well, kablammo... kablammo might not buy anything either. Dion has to buy something. Let's think about this. Ooh, kablammo buys 44. Uh-oh, that's not the greatest sign. So I'm going to pass on this. I think what I would want to do is, if there's a next turn, try to aim for... Tinchen again bids... Tinchen's always bidding for these, like, the low-capacity plants that are cheap to run. Makes sense in, like, 2, 3, 4 player games. Not so much in these. Ooh, boy. That sure is a thing. So we're Tinchen's connection's really bad, so we're just gonna remove them from the game and let Emmett step in as a sub to finish this out. Got my /accept ready now. Did Emmett's leave though? Let's give one more try with Tinchen here. What I would do here is buy 42. Oh, so /tell is the command to private message people here. Huh. I'll stick in a bid for this. Sure. I'm not quite sure how to bid this. Wait a second. Did I miss a plant somewhere? Because 42 is out there, but it says there's 6 left. Tinchen again is having connection issues, but at least Tinchen's out of the auction for this turn now, so we can get through the rest without them. $40. Well, that's not such a great plant there. I think I missed a plant somewhere along the line. You know what it is? 44. 44 has to be the one I missed, so... Okay. I'll bid for 42. I'll bid for this. Because I don't think I'm getting to 17 next turn. I think playing for 16 is the right play for me. Because we do still have a couple duds left in the deck. Yeah, that's one of the plants I did not want to see. At least it's for a player above me in the turn order. Kepappi is not in a position to bid on plants here, really. There's a 37. Like, I really wanted to make sure I get a 6 plant this turn, because this way I don't have to run 32. So what I'm going to do is not buy any oil and just buy 4 coal for this turn. I think that's my play. Kepappi with no uranium. Interesting. I'm probably going to finish last in this game, technically. Because I just realized I probably can't get to 16 on the next turn. Dion might be able to end it here. Actually, Dion might win this. 34 it cost was sweet. 36 it cost is sweet. So, I mean, Dion went a long time only powering like 3, 4, 5 cities. So maybe that's what'll keep him from having that amount of money. But I think he has a shot here. And there's the build I expected from Kepappi. In terms of just raw money cost, what I paid for 42 probably works out about evenly with 36 it cost for me, roughly, since there's no way I get to 17 on a next turn. So in this spot, Tinchen clearly needs to build a 12. Should build a 12 and stop there, but I have a suspicion they're not going to stop there. The reason you want to stop there is you don't want to give up any more of a money advantage to Mastaba. It looks like Dion's going to be our last hope to stop Mastaba from just ending the game and winning now. I'm just trying to stay low in the builds here. Trying to stay low. Ooh, Dion stops there. Okay. Mastaba might just end it now, actually. Although there's 2 people sitting at 12 now. 2 people sitting at 12. But yeah, he might end it. Mastaba might just end it now, actually. Ooh, mastaba doesn't build. Okay, now things are interesting. I get bottom in the turn order, so now what's nice is I can calculate out my builds and see how much I can get to. The only problem is I have a feeling I don't make it to 16. Pretty sure I don't, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Sadly, no. Yeah, this is screaming 5 to me. Sad. Yep, I went a little too far here, so I'm not going to win the game. Oh, 46 was the plant that was under, not 44. 44 already got bought, silly me. But yeah, I'm only going to make it to 15, not 16, alas. At least oil's pretty cheap for me now again. Very good move not buying oil last turn. Saved me a lot of money. Mastaba might bid for 46. I still have a feeling he's going to end up winning this. It's going to be between Mastaba and Dion, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I sadly miscalculated a little bit, so I can only get to 15. I mean, thing is, I think I probably had to try for 16 because if I don't make it to 16 on this turn, I'm probably not winning anyway. Tinchen, believe it or not, might come back from this and win. After all those earlier bizarre decisions. I mean, getting 46 at cost is a big deal. Leaves 39 as the last plant. So, in retrospect, what I should have done probably, well, I couldn't just not buy a plant last turn. That was the issue. Like, I feel like I had to buy a plant on the previous, had to buy my last plant on the previous turn. Because I needed to preserve oil some. Mastaba clearly should go for 39, I imagine. I have to believe he can get 16. Maybe not, though. There he goes. Yeah, I was in an awkward spot. I guess what I should... See, I'm still not sure if I was better off bidding for 42 or waiting for a next turn. I wasn't sure a next turn would come, but... Okay. Yeah. I guess I should have done the math on this and seen that with resource cost that this was not going to work for 16. What are my cheapest 5 cities then? Need to think. Can't even afford 5 going that way. All right. Wow. I literally can't even get to 15, I guess. Okay. Okay. Yellow. Let me think about this. Wow. Wow, yeah. I'm so far behind now. Probably gonna end up finishing last. Yeah. Okay. So Kepappi seems like he can't get to 16 either, but I mean, these players have to at least be able to get to 15. Like, I think Dion ends up winning this probably. It's between Dion and Mastaba, I feel. And Tinchen. Tinchen might be a dark horse here. Mastaba just needs to expand north, probably. Seems that's probably about all he's got. Dion saying, "Who can make it to 16?" You, Dion. It's gonna be you. Well, there's 15, so we know Mastaba beats me at least. Question is, does he have 16? He does. All right. Well, Dion's talking like he can't get to 16, which kind of surprises me. I have to believe he could. I mean, I guess the thing with Dion is his builds are going to get blocked. That's probably what's stopping him. Does Kepappi really only have 13? Wow. The player who got 26 at cost. The player who got 26 at cost is going to finish behind me. What the hell? I did not see that one coming. This was just an unusual, like, an especially fast-moving market, even for a 6-player game. It's really unusual to get 2 turns of the Step 3 auction in a 6-player. Tinchen's best cities left. Yeah, Tinchen would have Limoges and Reims and Brest. But Tinchen can't afford 14 either. Holy crap. Well, Dion, I bet, will take Brest now. Let's see if Dion can... Actually, you know what? Dion's builds didn't get blocked bad at all. He might have 16 in him here. Dion's next cities, I think Dion's best builds are just in this area. Amiens, Lille, Calais. If he can get all of these, I think he wins. Do you have Calais? Oh no, Dion. Wow, I really thought Dion was going to get to 16 there. Good builds. Had 34 and 35 at cost. I mean, 34 and 36 at cost. Good builds, but that's still not enough for him. Mastaba is the sole finisher with 16. Alright, so 4th place for me then. Not too surprising, again, because the market moved way too quickly for my early 32 to work. So, lesson learned for 6-player games. You don't sell out that hard for early capacity in 6-player. In a 5-player, you would consider that, but not 6, I think is what we're seeing here. All right, so there we go. We finally get a France 6-player game on the video. It was a long game, easily also by far the longest game I've recorded yet. But yeah, glad to have France 6-player on there, and hope you enjoyed this, and see you later. And big congrats to Mastaba.